Michigan beats Ohio State for the third time this season. This time it was in the Big Ten tournament, a game where Ade Mara was absolutely massive for Michigan. Best player for Michigan in this game, 17 points, 7 for 11 from the field, 7 rebounds, played 28 minutes. Morez Johnson continues to be a good and effective for Michigan as well, 11.7 rebounds. Trey McKinney continues to be a huge part off the bench as well ever since the injury to LJ Kaysen. Knocked him out for the year, 12 points, continues to shoot well from 3, 2 for 5 from 3 as well. Elliot Cadeau hit a couple of shots, 15 points in this game. Yaxel had 6 points, only went 1 for 4 from the field. Wasn't huge effectively when it comes to offensive side of the ball, but obviously he contributes much more than just that. Defensively, I thought he was really good. He just continues to really be a playmaker for Michigan, and he doesn't necessarily have to contribute offensively to really lead to a win. And this was a 4-point win for Michigan against an Ohio State team that has been playing pretty well. And it's really led by Bruce Thornton, 22 points. John Mobley Jr. had 12 points. Evan Royal, I thought, had a pretty overall solid game as well, 13 points. Ohio State didn't shoot the ball extremely effectively at 38% and 33% from 3, but that's really what Michigan has done throughout the season. It's defensively, they've been a team that really has been reliant at that part of the court several times this year, especially when the offense isn't going, especially when Michigan isn't hitting shots, especially from 3. Michigan was 29%. From the field, they were a little bit better at 45%, but whenever Michigan really needed to get a stop, they were able to do so. And this is because of obviously like the height that Michigan has in the front court. You have guys like Ade Mara. You have guys like Morez Johnson that truly affects when other teams get in the paint. Right, and they were able to do that. Also defensively as well, I thought they had some really timely turnovers in this game that they forced Ohio State into. There were several times in this game where Ohio State had all the momentum, right? And it truly was a stop for Michigan making a play on the offensive side of the ball that really allowed them to gain momentum back. Now, you have to give Ohio State a ton of credit, right? Because I thought Ohio State fought in this game. Bruce Thornton, I'm really happy for him. Obviously, going 0 for 3 in his senior season isn't necessarily the greatest side against a rival, but this is an Ohio State team that, because of what they've done down the stretch, because of what they did in the Big Ten tournament, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. And I think this Ohio State absolutely deserves to be in. Obviously, didn't get a ton off the bench. Gabe Cupps was actually a huge part of this team's success, which is absolutely crazy. Like, he was a huge part of really kind of keeping Ohio State in. I know he only had 5 points, but he was a guy that contributed when he was in 17 minutes. Fully didn't expect that at all. He hasn't been able to play very effectively throughout the season, but I thought he had some good minutes in there for Ohio State. But this was just a win that Michigan just found a way to win, right? You look at the other teams that had the triple bye. Michigan was the only team that won. If you look at it just overall. Now, obviously, I think the bye plays into a fact of how these teams play. Do I think Michigan played their best game this season? No, absolutely not. I don't think that they did. They had 9 turnovers in this one. They only out-rebounded Ohio State by 2. But what matters at the end of the day is that you get the win, right? And Michigan was able to find ways offensively. Trey McKinney, again, a huge part of that, especially hitting shots late. He's hit some really deep threes in this game, and those were huge momentum plays. I know Ohio State obviously would have liked to find a way to win this game, but just overall, I thought this was a good game for Michigan. It wasn't a great game. It was a way that Michigan needed to win, and now Michigan obviously is going up against Wisconsin, and this is going to be a really interesting matchup because Wisconsin's the only team that in the Big Ten that has gotten to Michigan. You have to talk about obviously the guard play for Wisconsin. In this one, Ohio State had really good guard play, and they still weren't able to figure out. I do think Wisconsin obviously has better guards than Ohio State does, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting. This was a close game. Let's see how Michigan responds in their game a little bit later on today. Will they be able to play better? Will they able to get a little bit more from Yaxel on the offense side of the ball? I don't think they necessarily need to, but I think it obviously would be effective. It would be nice for Michigan if they were able to do that. So good win for Michigan over their rival, 3-0 against Ohio State. I think you'll take that every single day of the week and twice on Sundays. Again, didn't shoot the ball effectively from 3. Trey McKinney was really the only one that did. Morez Johnson hit a 3 in this game as well. Need to continue to work on those turnovers, 9 turnovers, still not bad. Also need to work on kind of the extracurricular things that Damara does, but that's just kind of feels like the way that things have kind of gone for him. I think that's just going to kind of continue to be what people talk about a little bit. But at the end of the day, Michigan was able to get a win. Roddy Gale had 4 points. Will Cheddar didn't do too much. Namari Burnett hit a shot. So overall, good win for Michigan. Needed it. Only triple bye team to advance, and now we're going to see how they respond against a Wisconsin team that's going to probably be pretty tired. They were in an overtime game against Illinois, but let's see if Michigan's able to respond. Let's see what Dusty has for a game plan, and we'll see exactly what Michigan does going forward. If they win the Big Ten tournament, they'll have a lot of momentum going into the NCAA tournament, but also depth is going to be a real talking point as well. Roddy Gale and Trey McKinney played over 20 minutes in this game, so good win for Michigan. Obviously not their greatest performance, but you'll take a win over your rival any single day of the week. Let me know your thoughts on this. Did you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Are you a little bit concerned at all about this, or was it just maybe Michigan was just not buying that and they're going to start clicking again? I wouldn't be. I think this is one of the best teams in the country. And yeah, good win for Michigan. If you like this, feel free to like, subscribe, comment as well. Please help me get to 100 subscribers by Sunday. Would love to get that by Selection Sunday. But obviously, when the time comes, I'll talk about their game against Wisconsin. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in to the next episode.